Showtime! The Capital G show starts right now.
What's up YouTube, Capital G here. We're talking Batteryman in this video and why it is probably the most fun deck of the entire format to play. It's the deck that I've been playing, and I think yesterday I binged on DN for probably like 4 straight hours of just Batteryman. It's like win, lose, or draw. It's just so exciting playing this deck. First things first, the deck is lightning fast. Now that you have 9-volt, which honestly, I don't even know how it was possible to construct a Batteryman deck before this card came out. I mean, he's basically Stratos for the deck, and he can actually search himself, which most Stratos clones can't do. He gets a 2000 beefy attack when he does search, so you can actually clash him into stuff like, you know, Castle or something like that. And he makes a card like Charger, which I honestly thought that this card was really shitty before now. I mean, it makes it really good. I mean, now I look at Charger and I'm like, that's my fucking homeboy. Not only is Charger now searchable, but then when you combine it with a card like Monarch Storm 4th, which came out in the same set, ironically, the card is just so much easier to summon, and I can't tell you how gratifying it is when your opponent has like a Leo on board and they're just like, yeah, have fun trying to get over this. And you're like, okay, Monarch Storm 4th, Charger, OTKU. I mean, it's like the greatest feeling. And since 9-volt and Charger are basically like best friends, 9-volt is generally the card that you're going to summon off of Charger because it searches out a fuel cell straight from the deck for free, and you can just summon it on board, which means that basically when you tribute summon for Charger, just off that one card alone, you can deal potentially 6,800 damage and special summon twice. Seems legit. I mean, it's pretty nutty what you can do just off the one Charger, and I think that the deck can legitimately sack its ass off, which I consider to be really fun. I know that I'm in the minority because not only can you OTK routinely, but I mean, you also get to run things like Honest and the artifacts, which just they cause extra rage for your opponent. What's more fun than that? When your opponent thinks you're trolling them, but you're running a legitimate deck. And I think what keeps the deck interesting and it keeps things fresh is the fact that not only can the deck consistently OTK, and I think that it's the only one in the format that can do so right now, but it's the fact that the OTK can come in so many different forms and variations. I mean, you tribute for Charger, that can pretty much be an OTK. You flip summon Microcell, that can pretty much be an OTK. And then there's just like the random stuff where, you know, you may summon like a Bagal Tech and then have Bagal Tech summon a couple of, you know, Muratex, blow some stuff up, and then you normal summon a 9-volt, and that can be an OTK right there, especially if, you know, your opponent has like an open board, which generally if you pop 2 things with Muratex, they're going to have an open board. Now, the deck does come in 2 variants. There's the artifact version, which I run, and quite frankly is infinitely more fun and interesting. But then there's also, you know, for people who are looking for a little more control, for things to be, you know, a little more streamlined, there's like the Ma Thunder version where you get to run, you know, Thunder King Ryo, you get to run Kaiser Seahorse, and then you get the ability to run the card of the format, it seems, Vanity's Emptiness. This deck focuses more around lockdown and making rank 4s very easy because, you know, you can do it in the artifact version. It's just not something that I would say that the deck specializes in. The deck does give up some offense, and it gives up its kind of innate ability to, you know, have synergy with like with tribute summons, you know, the ability to use like Storm 4th effectively, because there'll be some times where you actually use like Monarch Storm 4th and tribute for like an artifact and attack for game or something like that. You really won't do that often in the you know, like the Thunder family version. And oddly enough, I've tested the deck enough to know that I would say out of the big 3, this deck really does not consistently lose to Shaddolls. In fact, Shaddolls aren't much of a problem, and it's mainly because you don't go into your extra deck at all. This isn't a deck like S-Knights where you're looking to exceed every turn. This deck does not need to exceed at all to win. So Shaddolls, whenever they play Fusion, they always have to use real resources. And even against S-Knights, it's a deck where you're obviously going to need to dig for your back row removal, but you can OTK S-Knights. The biggest problem in that matchup is definitely Alpha Nova because it just shuts down everything and you really don't Like, there's no answer to it legitimately. And your worst matchup is Burning Abyss because it's too many walls of defense to try and get through. But overall, the deck is super fun. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not saying that it's the most competitive deck. I mean, I would say that's probably like tier 2 right now, but it is definitely super fun, super aggressive, really not that expensive, especially if you run like the rank 4 version. And I believe, or from what I've heard, there was a top 8 regional version that topped 8 a Miami, Florida regional. So if the deck list comes out, I'll try and give that to you guys. Thank you for watching as always.